The following podcast is scheduled for one fall with no time limit.
Super hot fire!
The greatest spectacle in podcast entertainment, Mr. WrestleMania.
That was literally verbal diarrhea. I'm setting the bar awfully low. Titus O'Neil keeps running directly into that bar. Get him off my TV, get him off my TV. You make me very angry.
The man who has a better IQ than you, the awe-inspiring JC.
You should go work for WWE because you'd be so up far up Vince's butt.
No.
Oh, you are such a sucker.
You
You
are.
defend everything, all the bad moves they make.
This is the Jobber Knocker Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Jobber Knocker Podcast. As always, I'm WrestleMania alongside for the ride is JC. We've had quite a week of wrestling. I actually had my own wrestling promotion.
You did!
My very first live event in Peabody, Massachusetts. Actually, it's not my first live event, but it's the first one in Massachusetts. Went off without a hitch. Over 200 people there in the crowd. A wonderful night of wrestling. So it's fun to go from fan to wrestler to promoter / commentator / jack of all trades / master of none. And it was a wonderful night. Thank you, very quickly, thank you to Billy, our boy Billy,
Yes.
and our boy Joe Pollock, who
Yes.
got out of the hospital specifically for level 3. So
That's
those
dedication.
guys, those two, dedication right there, as well as my brother, my sister-in-law, and a bunch of other people, my father-in-law, they all came out. It was awesome, a bunch of friends. So thank you for everybody making that childhood dream come true. We're actually going to be back very soon in Peabody, Massachusetts. Can't tell you the date yet because it's hush-hush, but it'll be fun very soon. And we got some other shows coming up. So go to ProvingGroundBrand.com to check out everything as well. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's Proving Ground HD. There's a lot of cool stuff on YouTube as well. So being that said, I am going to talk about this week now. It was kind of a week of 2 shows.
Yeah, so, I mean, I put this out on Twitter, and I literally feel like this every week. I probably send this program. I don't understand how Raw and SmackDown are the same company. Because it's just like, I mean, we have a Shine and Heat portion of the show. I feel like one show was Shine and one was Heat. So we're going to start with the good. And
Yes,
we're going
we
to
are.
start with SmackDown Live. And I think we're going to start with the biggest story going into WrestleMania season. I think this story has jumped the woman in terms of just buzz right now because the women are just like ready to go. This story is not. Kofi Kingston. Tom Phillips may think he's Big E, but we know that he's Kofi Kingston.
Yes, he is.
He got an hour and 15 minutes of the show. But before that started, to start the segment, Daniel Bryan once again coming out with another super hot fire heel promo.
It was amazing. I didn't know how he was going to top what he's been doing. And then when he made the comment for me that really pushed me to the edge of like, yep, I'm buying every little bit of this. He was like, he hasn't struggled. He was handpicked to be in the Elimination Chamber. He was handpicked to be in a match that he couldn't win. And he was just like, he goes, he gave good performance here, good performance there. But the guy was handpicked. So telling me, like, changing the narrative to basically do whatever you were doing is a lot of fun. It's a lot of, it's a good way. The best heels, that I always say this, they taught me in wrestling school. The best heels are the people who literally think they're not doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And that they believe what they're talking about. And everything he said, I was thinking to myself, I believe every word he would say. Every word, including
Letting him
Rowan.
incorporate all his like Save the Planet crap,
Sure.
just makes this so much more authentic. But the big thing for me in this promo was him continually calling Kofi a B+ player. I just love driving that home because it's just so fucking funny.
It is.
It's
It's
just
it
because this
is.
was the thing with Daniel Bryan for like a whole year, like everyone calling him B+ player, and now here he is, this little goat troll calling Kofi a B+ player. It's great. I just love it. And then of course we get to the match. Kofi takes care of Sheamus, and which surprisingly was
That was a
the
long,
longest match.
long.
Cesaro was very quick. You know, some people probably would have preferred to have him flipped, but not Ben.
With a shoulder up, might I add. His shoulder was
Yes.
up for the pin. Again, this was wacky whale. This was really like not wacky wailing arm tube guy, but I was gonna say wacky roll up dude because it was just like roll up. And you know how much I hate roll ups, but I guess like they caught me off guard. I'm okay with it.
They had
I'll
to
let
do 5 pinning combinations. Sheamus
Sure.
got beat by the Trouble in Paradise,
Sure.
right? Cesaro was a roll up.
I think Samoa Joe was a roll up.
How did Rowan end? Because I was
That was a DQ.
That was okay. I thought it was a DQ.
He hit him with a chair and then he palm bombed him through a table. I'm calling it a
Yes.
palm bomb regardless of what
I like
everybody
it.
else says because it's awesome.
And then
The
we get
palm
to
bomb.
Samoa Joe.
He got rolled up.
He got rolled up, and then he also rolled up Orton, didn't he?
He did roll up.
So
Owen.
3 out of the 5 rolled. They could have done a little
the
better
fruit
than that.
roll up.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure about the Rowan and Joe one because like I got distracted at work because
Sure.
I got saddled with an intern, whatever, fine. But then when I got home, like I put it on again, but then for some reason, every time the ending of those 2 matches came, I was like brushing my teeth or doing something. I was like, oh crap, I missed it. But then Orton came out and I just got excited because this is what I was waiting for. The full circle. And, you know, I enjoyed it for what it was. And then it ends and I'm like, we still got some time left. And out he comes. Sir Armswell-a-lot himself, Vince McMahon. And he says, you got to beat one more. And it's Daniel Bryan. And Kofi loses. Mm-hmm. So, of course, the internet just absolute craze and upsetness. But you know what?
They got you.
I'm eating this up, man.
They got you.
Because we, like, the narrative is really that Vince doesn't get this, like, new world and everything. No. This storyline is proving that this man 100% how to take advantage of all the fucking outrage. We have more we're going to talk about on Raw.
Oh, I'm sure.
With the Kurt Angle stuff in terms of this, but, like, they are getting it. They have so much buzz around this with these negative stories of people being upset. Like, that creates more buzz than sometimes the feel-good ones. And they're trying to build to the feel-good one. So this continually, like, as much as it seems like they're dragging it, like, I think it's, again, flawless execution.
Yeah.
Because it's the first thing we're talking about, so we're interested in. It is the first time that title, the title, has been the most interesting thing week to week in years.
Absolutely within years. I mean, since Brock Lesnar hasn't held it, I don't think. Even Roman Reigns holding it, I don't think.
Because it's been overshadowed by, like, you know, the universe seemed to have the bigger titans. And then, obviously, like, the women have come such more to the forefront that the WWE title, like, doesn't really go on last besides, like, what, Elimination Chamber?
Exactly.
So it's just, who would have thought a little Goat Boy and Kofi Kingston would be the ones to bring it to the light?
I have to say there's a couple things that I want to get off my chest. First off.
Get them off.
Here we go. First, they're not bad things, but these are things that I noticed while I'm watching, right? First off,
That's normally what happens.
Let's go through this entire thing very quickly and break it down. So he beats Sheamus very quick. Well, that's true. Very, very, very long match, which was kind of interesting. He beats Cesaro in a pretty decent match, of course. Then, of course, as we talked about, he gets broken down. Once we get past Samoa Joe, or in Samoa Joe, I think, like in that area, we start to see fatigue set in, obviously. But that's where I start to wonder, like, oh my God, he's going to hurt himself. Because there were like 3 or 4 different instances where Kofi was like this close to killing himself. I think he landed on his head for an SOS that he missed on either Orton or Samoa Joe. And then he went for, I think it was Samoa Joe. He went for like a bounce, like cross body, and he just like, he fucked it up completely. And it was just like, you can tell he's trying to kill it, but he's just like, he's throwing everything at everybody. And so we were this close for him to getting injured. And I was like, God damn it, you're like this close to WrestleMania. Please don't fuck yourself. Like, don't do that. Like,
He's like Gumby, man. He bends.
But it's just so much work. Like, you just think about it, and it just doesn't make any sense, right? So it's just like...
Well, it is, again, with the Scotland match, like, because we saw the last time they did it, like, the first match is the longest one. So it's like you're wearing him out with the first guy. Then you have all these guys coming in fresh, and they're quicker. It's a little weird, but, I get it.
And I have to then what I just said. It was all during Daniel Bryan. He almost killed himself in the SOS and as well as the crossbody. But it was something that I watched, and I was like, God damn it. Like, and the other thing, there's a couple other things, too. This is what again, little nitpicky things, but it didn't bother me. Daniel Bryan came out months ago and said the yes movement is dead, but then he went back to it with the pointer fingers, but it was like, no. But to me, it just felt like a little bit outside of what we were doing.
Well, it's the no movement now.
Well, it could be if he comes out and says it's the no movement, I'm fine with it.
That's just like, that's one of his moves, and when he's a good guy, it's yes. When he's a bad guy, it's no. That's Daniel Bryan. It was
a little weird considering what he had said. I just felt like the character was kind of like a little flawed there. That's all.
That's a little too Nestle.
Well, I'm Nestle. I got to be Nestle, right? And then lastly, I think that Vince McMahon is pedal to the metal in this thing. I'm telling you right now, Kofi Kingston, there's a very realistic view of this entire thing happening at WrestleMania. He's got to probably have a match on the pre-show. He's got to have a match on Mania.
We already have 17 matches. We can't have 18, 19.
14 of them are going to be Kofi Kingston having to fucking get his way to the main event.
The winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal faces Daniel Bryan.
I'm telling you right now, like, he is going to milk that teat as much like as he possibly can. And I'm sitting there going, this is fantastic. And all these people are like, I hate this so much. I think this
what do we
is
think they're
stupid.
gonna do for next week? Do you think they're gonna set up some sort of like riot thing with like all the baby faces? Because we saw it was kind of. I thought that was a really cool aspect of this match too. Is this was the most effective use of like the backstage in a long time because it starts with the New Day. The Usos joined in,
Pancakes.
Nikki Cross and others. Like just little things. It's just you can see because it's that excitement of like a big feel, like everyone crowding at the monitors wanting to watch. Mustafa Ali, even who replaced, like rooting for Kofi, and you saw all night like the Miz dropped his name, AJ dropped his name, like his name getting dropped. That everyone is rooting for this to happen. So are they setting up for pretty much like locker room versus Vince next week?
Sure.
Even Kevin Owens dropped him on his show, so with his awesome tie.
There's something that I don't know if you saw, and everybody else, if you get a chance to go watch it, it's probably one of the best promos I've seen in a long time, especially for the New Day. It's either on Facebook or it's a WWE.com exclusive. I'm sure they both share it. But go and check this out. It'll give you a hint of what we're in for next week. It's them in the locker room. Kofi says literally nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's the other two barking and yelling and screaming. And they get to a point in which they look at each other and they go, what do we do? And they're like, you know what we should do? No matter what happens, we put a mountain, they're going to put another big mountain in front of us. They're going to put a ceiling, they're going to get another one and another one. They keep talking about all this shit. And then they go, we should just quit. And then it's just silence. And Kofi just looks at him and goes, we ain't quitting. But we're going to do, like, he was like saying, like, we got to get out of this town. We got to get out of this locker room.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. And I was just like, okay, there's the light switch. There it is.
So he's not going to AEW?
We don't know. But it was just like, it made absolutely perfect sense to watch it. Go back and watch his promo because it was effective. It was very effective because they were like, you got a kid. Imagine going home, Kofi, and playing with your kid and being with your wife. We can all go do that. Go home with our families. We'll find. They're like, this is the part that really got me. Xavier Woods goes, you know why they keep us around? Because we're good at everything. Everything. They want us over here. We do this. We do that.
It's true.
And he goes, that's what we're here. We're here to do everything for them. Imagine if we left. What they'd do without us. They couldn't. And it was just like, okay, now we're blurring that line of like how serious this could be. And I really, really enjoyed it. To me, that was almost more effective than the gauntlet and the lead up to it.
I will say,
so go back and watch it.
The last couple months, those WWE.com exclusives have been really good for a lot of different feuds across the board. And it's stuff where I see it and I'm just like, man. I mean, a lot of people are seeing this because it's the internet, but like there's a lot of the TV audience that aren't seeing this, and there's so much character development in those now where you really need, as a fan, to ingest that as well as part of like your WWE appetite. Because if you're just going on TV nowadays, like you're not getting the full story. I mean, you've noticed it, but I saw them post a video. I didn't watch it because it popped up while I was getting ready for bed. But
go back and watch it.
will.
It's worth. It's definitely worth it because it'll lend you to a moment where you're like, okay. It may not be next week. It may or may not. It might be until WrestleMania, but there's something there.
I got 2 weeks left, 2 shows left. So
oh well. All right. Anything else?
Well, we got to go now back to the start of SmackDown.
Oh wow.
Because for me, I was like, I saw the Miz coming out first. I'm like, okay, this is it. This is where, because Shane last week did his job in this feud. He got the heat. It was effective. It got us to this week. It got us awaiting to hear from The Miz. Because for once in their life, WWE let it simmer a minute. Like they had kept The Miz off TV. He hadn't even said anything really on social media. It was perfect. They let it simmer. So when this moment came, you were anticipating it. And this was a big moment for The Miz. Because we know The Miz goes out there and crushes promo. But this promo was the most important promo of his babyface career. Like this was the one to bring this feud. So like we goes from, oh, this is happening, all right, whatever, to, okay, you got me now. And The Miz delivered. This promo was super hot fire. He was passionate. The crowd was into it the whole time, which I think is good because it is. It's hard for all of us to buy The Miz as the babyface because he's such a good heel. But I thought he hit a home run. I was very impressed. I was happy because, I mean, the crowd was chanting it. This man does deserve it. He deserves our attention and adoration. He's always had mine. But this guy, you want to talk about, like, him and the New Day, they're in the same boat. Like, they can do everything.
Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, the reason I knew this was a good promo, and I do this sometimes when I sit by myself when I'm watching, and again, this is where you guys can be like, oh, he sits by himself while he watches wrestling. How sad. But don't feel bad for me, folks. I'm perfectly fine. I do this thing sometimes when I'm watching by myself and I'm watching promos. The Miz has enough cadence and enough space, but when he talks, where he'll wait, and I already say what I think should be next in my mind. This promo, he said everything I would have thought of saying as he said it. And I was like, perfect. This was exactly like, because he could have been there and he could have been like, I've worked 11 years to get your respect and I think I've earned it. And then he paused and I'm like, for the love of God, just say, you're goddamn right I deserve it, because they did the you deserve it. And he turned around and he said it and I was like, yes, because that's not a babyface thing to say. That's somebody that's got a little edge to him, which is what you need. You don't change the Miz. You don't make him gee golly gosh. You don't kiss babies. You don't shake hands. You just let him be the Miz and you go, okay, I like the Miz now because he's a dad, because he's a husband, because he's a son fighting for his father. That stuff is fine. You don't change who you are. And I think they're getting, last time when he was a babyface,
it didn't. They tried
changed
to make
him completely.
Milky Way. It doesn't.
Yeah, and it doesn't work. So I think when I'm watching it this time around, I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're changing the direction, but we're not changing the person. And so when I watched it, I went, yes, that is what I need, because this is another thing. I put it on Twitter, and I think I've been saying for a while, but this is something that a lot of people are like, oh, Shane McMahon in another match. But here's what people need to think about. AJ Styles faced Shane McMahon at WrestleMania, and then he became the fucking champion.
And we liked that match.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? WrestleMania, he did that. Last year, he was with Daniel Bryan, rubbed up against him, and now Daniel Bryan's a champion. So in the next calendar year, I'm thinking to myself, Shane McMahon is really the seal of approval here. And in the next year or so, The Miz is going to get a shot. I mean, this is as good as it's going to get for him, I think, with the exception of Brock Lesnar moving to Fox, apparently. But we'll see if that happens on SmackDown. We don't talk about the dirtiest of sheets. But it is something that's in my mind. When I watch this, I go, he's making the strides, and it's going to make sense. Will WrestleMania be the coronation of it? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking at from this feud is, because obviously this thing is like, we'll go back to Crown Jewel, it was looking this way. So this, again, another one they've had planned for a long time. And, on paper, you look at it and you're like, but they're giving us a good story with it. They're using this as a launching pad to really make Miz that legit babyface, which has never really happened. So far, it's working. We'll see if it actually does. But to me, that's why when I look at this for The Miz, this WrestleMania, if he's not doing this with Shane, what is he doing? He's either going to be a throw-in in a mid-card title, like he always is, or he's going to be in the battle or something like that. But this is something different for him. He's getting a one-on-one match against someone that everybody knows, like casuals, the current, like the kid. Everyone knows Shane. Everyone is familiar with Shane, and it's a one-on-one match with him. This is a big spot for The Miz, whether you're excited for it or not. That's why I like it. I'm in on this now because these last 2 weeks, I thought they sold this feud. I think it's been remarkably done by both parties. And like I think our boy Ray Ray said on Twitter, I love that they've been kept apart since that moment, because it's something about it builds that anticipation to when they're finally together again, as opposed to just giving us like a typical Brock Lesnar feud, like feud, fight, pull apart, fight, like we always joke. So I like this. SmackDown just really hammering this shit home, man.
Another thing that I thought was, partially really, really good was the KO show. I enjoyed that very much. I enjoyed the new graphics. Yes. I enjoyed his demeanor. Being a fan of Kevin Steen for a very long time and watching the Kevin Steen show on the High Spots network. If you go and check it out, they're hilarious. He has like an easel with the Kevin Steen show, and then it's like a Kane mask. That's it. He just likes Kane's mask. That's it. But it's just like he does a good job interviewing people and a good job of like being who he is. And here's another thing where he didn't really change himself. He was still kind of like, well, Becky, my cards here. My cue cards say that you said this, and then Charlotte.
I enjoyed that.
I was like,
I thought that was great.
Here we go. Kevin Owens doesn't go anywhere without his portable toilet and the little thing to stir it in. He just stirs the shit. But that's what it is. And I loved it because he had his paddle and he was stirring it. And he was doing everything he needed to do.
With that tie.
That he said was a zip up, by the way. He said it was a zip up.
Yep.
So he does all that stuff. He does everything else. And it makes perfect sense. And I was watching it. And then, of course, as I text you guys through the chain, as we always, when we watch things, we text each other. The brawl to me was so, nah. Like, it was like.
They don't know what to do with this feud anymore.
Yeah,
Besides Ronda. They don't know what to do with Becky and Charlotte.
It's so weird.
This thing's so sold. That's why. Like, it's done. Like, it doesn't matter what they do the next couple weeks. We're still going to care about the match. But it'd just be nice if, like, there was something. But, it just seems like to me, like, yeah, we don't know what to do. Let's just have them fight, I guess, on the show that they're not supposed to be on anymore.
Poor Asuka. Can we have a moment of silence for Asuka?
Well, hey, next week. Always in the shine.
There
Mandy
you go.
Rose
There you
versus
go.
Sonya Deville versus Carmella versus Naomi. The winner will face Asuka at Mania. More on that in my hope, but always in the shine. So there you go.
Well, there's not much of a hope when we already know what you're going to pick.
You don't know what I'm going to pick, though.
All right.
You don't. So that's the thing. No, that's part of the tease. But yeah, there you go. Always in the shine. Thank you for giving me the setup.
I was going to say, I was wondering in my head, I'm like, please don't let him figure out a way. And I did. Like an idiot. Like an absolute idiot.
Where there's a will, there's a way. But this time you just made it easy for me.
Well, now I'm going to get louder because everybody's gone. But that's the same thing.
So we go to that segment?
Yeah.
Because I thought a great performance this week was done by the Iconics. I can't even do their annoying voice right. My voice like cracks when I try to do it. Their pre-match promo, as always. They are so shrilly and annoying. Like, even though I'm huge fans of them, I was like, God, for the love of God, can you stop talking? Your voice is so fucking annoying. Like, especially Billy Kay's. But God damn, it's effective. Mm-hmm. The match wasn't great, but Lacey Evans, the mid-match walk, because
we all thought it was over. We always thought it.
The new Lana song, it's so good. The Iconics, though, we're going to skip the awful botches that were in this match.
Oh, my God, this is
And
bad.
we're going to go to the end because they cheat to win, even though people say, I can't believe they let the Iconics win clean. I'm like, did you not see how they did? They cheated.
It's four-way mania, baby. Get excited.
Mania.
Get excited.
But yeah.
Multi-mania.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Here's the part that, like, I am absolutely horrified at. Is that they said, 14 to 17 matches? They're all going to be four corners or triple threats or battle royals or whatever.
That's what's surprising. There's, of the 17 matches, 8 of them are one-on-one matches.
Okay, then that's
Which is way more than we actually get. There's a big misconception. There could be 9.
Are we getting to a point where we're going to have to split WrestleMania into 2 days? Because I think that's where we're headed. I think we're literally headed to WrestleMania Day 1, WrestleMania Day 2.
I just think, start that thing at 3, go all day. People will come in and out when they want. It's a long day if you're there, but hey, if you're paying for the ticket, you want to enjoy it all, you can. If not, come late. That's the way I look at it with this. It's like they're giving you the option of all this viewing because, look, they have a lot of talent. If people aren't being used, you're going to complain about that. So, you know what? We're going to fucking use everyone. Everyone's getting their moment because everyone deserves it. Everyone comes here and works hard for a year, whether they're on TV or not. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't fucking watch it. That's the thing for me. Like, even if I'm not watching the whole time, maybe I'll go back and watch stuff. Mm-hmm. Or listen to us, and we'll tell you what you can go back and watch, because we're going to watch it all.
Oh, my God.
But it's just like, it's like, look, the thing I said on Twitter for it is, like, we watch football every Sunday, 1 to 11.
Yeah, but here's the different thing about football, though. Like, football is once a week, which is fine. And then it's...
WrestleMania is once a year.
I know, hold on. But then we're also getting from, like... And again, I don't watch pregame football because I'm not like that, but I mean, you get... In a realistic view, you get to watch you watch Red Zone, so that's different, but... technically, if you want to watch game to game to game, there's like 3 to 4. Well, there's only 3 real time slots that you're watching.
1 to 4, 4 to 7, and there's like the 8 game.
Yeah, the 8 game. So
you get the hour break.
Right, but I mean, like, you get an hour break. You get that's the thing. Like, I feel like if WrestleMania and I know they will sledge in, like they'll slide them in, I guess, but it's just like, it's so bummer-ish because it's just they don't really, they build in breaks, but they don't really build in breaks. It's more of a like, here's a musical performance. Okay. Well, we know Kid Rock's going to perform. Not really, but I'm just thinking like in past times.
It's Elias this year.
Okay, whatever. But see, to me, if it's not The Rock, I'm going to be upset. If it's not Austin or whatever, or Undertaker.
This is all like, just take a break yourself. What they're doing is they're being like, look, this is like our granddaddy of them all. This is your chance to celebrate it. We're giving you this amount of hours. So there are people who are all fucking day, all they care about is WrestleMania. So you have the option, because there's people who's going to be watching NXT in the morning. They're going to be watching old WrestleManias right into WrestleMania. You have the option to watch it all. If you don't want to watch it, don't fucking watch it. They're not making you watch it.
No, I know, but here's the thing.
Like, what, you just have FOMO of missing out on the women's tag match?
No, that doesn't matter to me. No, it's just
don't watch it. That's why they complain about
I have
it.
to.
It's annoying.
I have to, though. Like, that's the thing for me. Like, I'm so hardcore about it that I have to.
Watch some of it the next day.
I don't think my brain can do that.
Well, you don't have to do it. See, that's a personal problem.
It is a personal problem.
Same thing for me. I don't want to miss out, but it's just the complaint that I think is valid if you want to have one is how late it
sure.
is.
11 o'clock. Boom,
start
I'm done.
it early.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're still if
it's midnight, it's going to be midnight every single time.
Well, it's opening the venue too. They might not be able to. Like, it's all. There's a bunch of stuff with it, but that's my thing. Like, this year, it's just because I just like the negativity around this shit. It's like, dude, it's WrestleMania. They're going out of their way. They're like, everyone's involved, so you can't complain about people not getting used. If you don't want to watch it, don't fucking watch it.
The
simple.
negativity in this category sucks.
Exactly.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is not coming through that door. The Rock is not coming through that door. Gorilla Monsoon is not coming through that door. Sorry, I had to throw that in.
That was pretty good. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. I mean, I worked there. I had to know that
It's
one
true.
at least. Vinny had that up like 6 times every single time in a tease.
It's a classic.
Robin Parrish not coming through that door. All right, anyway, sorry. That was a moment that nobody understands except like maybe 6 people.
I think most people. That was pretty iconic.
All right, anyway.
Speaking of iconic.
Whew. All right, let's get back into this.
Yeah.
Is there anything else on SmackDown? Because
did we get through SmackDown?
I mean, so the
that's everything.
Kofi thing was a big thing. There was an AJ Styles promo that to me, whatever. It is what it is. That's
it.
I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah.
So now we're gonna go to Raw, and you ready for this?
Yes, I'm
Are
ready.
you sitting down?
I am currently
Do
standing
you have
down.
your seatbelt on?
I'm standing down, yes.
You ready for what I think was the
sitting.
best part of Raw?
The best part of Raw.
The best part of Raw.
If you say Travis Brown, I'm going
the
to
best
fucking
part
hit
of
you
Raw
in the
to
face.
me was Mojo Rawley.
Shut up! Shut up!
I'm dead serious too.
This is an April Fool's, you know.
I'm dead serious because Raw sucked. Now, granted, there were a couple things like, I say this like 90% serious because I saw that I'm like, oh cool, they're gonna actually care about him again. But the reason why I liked it is because it was the one thing that was actually like fresh. It was quick.
Yep.
Because that was the thing. A lot of the other good things this week tended to drag, but I thought Mojo was the best part of Raw this week.
I don't know what to say.
I know. I'm an honest person.
I gotta say.
You think I bullshit you sometimes, but
I
not.
gotta say. I mean, this is a banner moment for me.
I still don't think he's good. But
Oh,
I thought
that's
that was the
fine.
best part of Raw.
That's fine. Listen, I'll take this. I'll take this victory all effing day, man. All fucking day.
The only other thing on Raw that I thought was good was I thought McIntyre's promo before the main event. I really like that. They're continuing to build him as the top heel on Raw. So whether Brock wins or loses, hopefully he loses, so the title's back. But McIntyre is being built as a legit threat finally. They slowed it down for like a month there, but they're back now. The match,
he's Roman.
I'll be honest, I fast forwarded the match because as you know, it's a rerun. Mac and me is like you like to see.
Thank you,
Like to
Danny, for the
remind us.
Photoshop.
But he beat Rollins, right? Because Brock
Because
distracted him.
Brock,
But
distracted.
yeah, it's just it's like, so we have it set where McIntyre beats Dean, McIntyre beats Seth. Now it's up to the big dog who was not on TV again. Thank you WWE for listening. Selling fucking injuries. Dean wasn't on TV either. He just came out in the dark. But McIntyre Reigns, one of the top 3 matches I'm excited for at WrestleMania.
Really?
I think this match, because it's one of those that it just, both these guys are really good. I like the way their styles line up. And I just think it's something that Roman Reigns has been put on the pedestal for so long in the main event and everything. Him not being in it, the spotlight's off him. So I think they can just go out there and have a really good match. And the expectations are just going to be like whatever, because you look at the card, it's not a title match or anything. I think this is a match when we walk through the doors of watching 8 hours of WrestleMania, we're going to be like, McIntyre Reigns was really good. I enjoyed it. So I am excited for that. But yeah, besides that on Raw.
I don't know.
Can you try to sell me on some shine?
Oh, God.
I mean,
here's the thing, and I know that people are like, oh, Nestle's usually the negative, but I look at this match, this whole show, really, I should be more general about it. That match at the end kind of bothered me with the whole Brock thing, but I'll get to that later. The whole night was just kind of like, what are we watching?
Nothing
You know, it was, and I said, you said to me, like, what did I miss? I'm like, literally, there were a couple of things character development-wise for a couple small things, but there was no advancement, in my opinion,
I agree.
of anything that happened. And
100%.
it was such a bummer because I'm just like, okay, Brock gets booed. We've seen that.
was that because are we in the heat now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get a fucking iPad.
That opening segment was so underwhelming, wasn't it?
It was.
It was Brock's big return. And it was just like so generic.
I appreciated that the Mac came out and said, you know, I'm going to kill everybody and I'm going to fucking da-da-da-da.
He's the best part of it.
And then, of course, you know, Seth comes out and whacks him with a chair, whacks him again and again and again and again. And then they show this thing on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen the video, but it's like 2016 versus 2019. And it's Brock running in and Seth running away. And now Seth comes in and Brock runs away. And it's like, see how it's changed? I'm like, yeah, no shit. But like,
this match, man.
Brock Lesnar is an amazing draw, an amazing talent when he decides to flip the switch. But I would have preferred Brock Lesnar walking into the building, looking like he only can look, having Paul Heyman just shoo away everybody and everything to be backstage, and Seth Rollins jumps his ass and beats him, and they beat each other up, and that's what you get. That's it. Don't wait for it. Don't have a ha-ha. Don't have a moment of whatever. I know that they had to shoehorn the Mac in there to get everything going and everything for the main event, which I get. They thread the needle through that. That's fine. But I would have preferred something different than, here's Brock Lesnar. Watch Brock Lesnar jump up and down. Here's Paul Heyman talking about something biblical, epic, or whatever. And then here we go. Seth Rollins, yada, yada, yada. Ha, ha, ha. And then whatever. It was just like a formula. It was an equation. It made no sense to me.
All that Paul Heyman does now is just replace the name.
And, of course, we get to the next part of the portion of everything that bothered me. Michael Cole ruined, well, I say ruined, the quote-unquote surprise of Balor's mystery partner, like trying to sell it before the break, going, it's going to be a monstrous partner. And I look at my wife and I go, and I didn't say anything, and she's like, oh, it's Braun. And I was like, yeah, it's Braun. And I was like,
yeah, because a lot of people were like, oh my God, is it going to be Sami Zayn?
Yeah, whatever.
It's just like, you just completely took the surprise out of it.
And the other thing, too, is that's a rerun. If it isn't, it feels like one. If it isn't, it definitely feels like what we've already seen because people are intermingling with each other all the time. That's it for me. And then, of course, we get to the whole point where it's like Balor talks, Bob talks, Leo talks, everybody talks, and then Braun comes out. Moment of silence, by the way. Moment of silence for Braun because he's entering in the Andre the
Giant.
Giant.
Loves him. Next Monday, when that Boston's gonna pop off, we're gonna pop off for him. But he's still gonna be in the Battle Royal. Not anything else.
The thing is like, are people supposed to forget Crown Jewel that he won a trophy and a belt because
But that's the thing.
Like it's the same thing. You treat that the same as you do a WrestleMania. To me, at least, that's how they see it. And you get to a point where like here's the thing. In what point? Like like you said, he's been kind of the guy. He's the title when the title's not there. But at what point for you are you looking at it going, this is a lateral move? This is a complete lateral move.
That point. Like I've said,
it's a demotion, really.
Like on TV, it's just like there's nothing for him, and I've complained about. Like I'm just so frustrated by it. I don't know what to say. But God, it's just you get him in front of a live crowd, and live crowds eat him up still. Like it's. They're using them as that, like, oh, yeah, the live crowds or whatever. So if we ever want to flip the switch back on, but it sucks. But unfortunately, like, whenever they decide to flip the Braun switch back on, we're all going to buy it in like 2 seconds because the guy is just so fucking must-see. That's why it's so frustrating for us that they're just not using him because it's your biggest show of the year, and you're like, Braun. It's frustrating, man, because it's, God.
Here's what I want to ask. With this whole Colin Jost and Michael Shea thing happening.
Oh, my God.
Right? And, of course, Bliss gets involved saying, I'm the host, I've got to be the referee, whatever. Is there a portion of this in your mind? Is there a portion cut out where there is rent in your mind? Somebody's got space in your mind where you're thinking to yourself, Colin Jost and Michael Shea are going to be in that Battle Royal. And they're going to fucking eliminate his ass.
I mean,
I legitimately think there is at least a sliver, an iota, that this could happen. And you just talked about, they can flip the switch whenever they want. This might be career suicide.
See, that's the thing. Is just the guy is like,
I know he's over.
Someone who's so
but he's
over
not over in McMahon's eyes.
I know, but it's hard. I think he is, and I think that's why Vince just like, But it's just so hard to. That guy is so in with live crowd. It's hard to, like, no matter what they do, because they've done some dumb fucking shit with him, and it's just like the minute they flip the Braun switch back on, we're okay with it. It's just so fucking frustrating. But something's gonna happen with that shit. Is this like maybe this Battle Royal is actually gonna be in the main card because they're gonna be setting up shit backstage?
Who cares?
I mean, we don't even know who else is in it. It's just Braun. Is Braun just gonna fight himself?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. To me, this is one of those things where I look at it and go, I literally look at the list of the 5 that have won, and I'm like, Cesaro, we were excited about, nothing happened. Mojo, it happened. You know, and Matt Hardy,
you skipped over the Big
Show.
Corbin's the only
Corbin
one
was really the only one, yeah. But I mean, like, you look at it and you're like, I get if they treated it properly,
If they just said winner gets a title shot of their
Yeah.
choosing, that's all you need to do. Whether they want to pick a mid card or they want to pick a world title or they want to pick a tag title, like winner gets a title shot.
Sure.
It just instantly makes it matter.
Sure.
Because the person who wins is going to get an opportunity. That's all you have to do. And it's so simple because you could be like, all right, Matt Hardy won last year. They ended up winning the tag titles. He could have used it to get that.
Sure.
Or the year Cesaro won. Even if you don't want him, you could have him fight for a world title and lose. Or hell, the year Corbin won, it could be like, oh, he gets an intercontinental title shot because he's smart. He's like, he thinks that's when he's going to actually win. Like, there's ways to do it where it's just, you don't need to use it right away. It's a nice thing to have in the bank. It's like an extra money in the bank contract. It's like, oh, shit, someone got injured. We need a fill-in. Well, this person has a guaranteed title match. We can use this, and it works for the storyline,
Sure.
and here we go. It's so simple. It boggles my mind they don't do it. It's just like, oh, great, they win a trophy, and they get to pose with it for the next
They
next
cross
Monday or
their
Tuesday.
arms and they look slightly like Andre the Giant, although it looks like a golden dildo, essentially. I mean, that's what it is. It's a dick trophy.
I mean, most trophies kind of are.
It's a dick trophy.
Some just have, like, other things sticking out.
Whatever. It's weird. It's weird. Okay. Moving on. We have the moment of bliss, which I was excited to see. And then, of course, Elias comes out, talks about he's the musical guest, the headliner. In my head, I go,
Thank God it's not Flow Rider.
yeah, thank God. Thank God it's not Flow Rider, Kid Rock, or anybody else.
I forgot about Kid Rock.
Yeah, Kid Rock on WrestleMania 25 took up 45 minutes. It was awful. I'm exaggerating at best, but it felt like 45
Yeah,
minutes.
no, those are always a waste of time.
Yeah, I don't want the experience.
Well, that's the thing. At least
I don't want it.
Elias, like, it's letting him do what he does best, and it's, they're going to do something with
It has to be The Rock, has to be Austin, has to be somebody,
know if it's
Undertaker,
like-
Cena, whatever. It has to be one of those guys. It has to be.
It's going to be something.
If it's not The Rock, if it's the perfect, it is the perfect, like picture perfect thing. It is. Nobody else can say that. Like, The Rock can play
here's
the
thing about
guitar.
The Rock doesn't even show up half the time.
It's one of those moments where you it's a piss break that you go, oh, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
Austin, Undertaker would be cool. Whatever.
No, it wouldn't.
Okay, we know how you feel about that. Austin, maybe somebody else. I don't know. But like any of the part-timers or anybody. Cena would be fun too, I'm sure.
Cena's going to be doing other things.
We hope. We fucking hope.
Should we get to that now?
Sure, what the hell?
So, Angle comes out and does his announcement, and it's Baron Corbin. Now, storyline-wise, this is clearly something they've had in the works forever. They started with the GM thing, but man, it was underwhelming. And I think part of it is that we got ourselves so goddamn hype about John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
That when in reality, it was like, who is it going to be? It's going to be Baron Corbin. It's like, if he announced, like, I want to face Chad Gable, like, the Marky Marks would be like, yeah! But most people would be like, who?
Exactly.
So it had to be someone who made sense. But again, who says this is actually going to happen?
Right.
Because again, Vince knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is all everyone was talking about. People were talking about it. They had Baron Corbin on their tongue. People have so much venom for Baron Corbin. And like they try to say it's like stay away heat. It's like, well then how come the arena's the loudest when he's out there? If it's stay away heat, you're going to like Nia Jax, you're going to get
Go get a hot dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like if there's someone I don't like, I just don't watch it or I don't pay attention.
Sure.
But if it's someone that I hate, it's like, man, they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, you know how I feel about Corbin.
Oh, yeah.
But do I want to see this match? Not really, because I know
We've already seen it.
Well, no, if it happens, Angle's gonna win, and I'm horrified that Angle's gonna be the first one to kick out of the end of days. That would be such a waste. But I just have a feeling. I think we're still gonna get Cena. Yeah, they're gonna do it, and it's gonna make that pop so fucking loud.
Oh, yeah.
Because Corbin's gonna come out, and something's gonna happen where Angle's gonna be like, "Sorry, Baron. This is my ultimate revenge. I'm taking away your WrestleMania match now. You aren't getting anything." And out comes, like, it just, there's so many ways they can do it. I think they know what they're doing with this one. But God, it was, that segment, it was underwhelming.
The
But
nuclear heat
Oh
that it
my
got on
God.
wrestling Twitter. You know, I look at it like this. Like Baron Corbin, yes, it was underwhelming for the person that watches it. It, like you said, it makes perfect sense for the storyline portion. But like people are, I think Danny or somebody was saying in our thread, like, oh, Chad Gable would have been great for WrestleMania. It's like, no, none of these guys deserve it. None of these guys will get it because there's just too much stuff. There's just too much, like, I think everybody knows something that's in on it. And even if it is Corbin, like, and again, I'm not trying to like make it okay or anything like that. But like for me, even if it is Corbin and I'm like, okay, it's Corbin. Yeah, the WWE would make that happen to Kurt Angle sometimes. Like, you can realistically think to yourself, yes, the WWE would do that to Kurt Angle. But at the same time, Baron Corbin's working with a guy who was on top for a very long time.
Exactly.
Baron Corbin is being put in a situation where, like, you say it, like you said, it's X-Pac heat or whatever, but Baron Corbin has been so good for so long. Like, this is his first real coming out party.
Yep.
Then he deserves it.
He absolutely deserves
it.
it. I just don't know if he's going to get it. Did you see the stuff Mark Henry was saying about this?
No.
I'm trying to pull it up because I mean, as you know.
You love Mark Henry.
I worship the ground that man walks on. God, he tweets a lot about wrestling.
He tweets a lot in general.
Yeah, no, this is exciting radio here.
Yeah, you're doing a terrible job. Anyway.
I went past it.
The Chad Gable match, however.
Yeah, you talk about the match.
Chad Gable match was great. It was like, oh, cool. Like, it was an indie mark kind of like thing where you're like, yes, Kurt Angle versus Chad with his old music and his U.S. singlet. This is great. Like, yeah, of course you're going to fucking jerk off to that. But, like, it was a good match. To me, it wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen in sliced bread, but it was worth the time of day, and it was a notable thing. But again, not a WrestleMania-worthy match. And it wouldn't have been because, again, Chad Gable has been piss boy robing it up for the last 6 months. And quite frankly, not on the level of Kurt Angle. And people are like, oh, well, having a match with Kurt Angle would elevate Chad Epic. Freudian slip. Chad Gable. I worked with Chad Epic over the weekend. Anyway, Chad Gable is amazing. But Chad Gable on a marquee at WWE WrestleMania is not good enough. Like you said, it's just Apollo Crews, same thing. Like a lot of guys that he probably wants to work with would be great. But it's Kurt Angle's last freaking match. And of course, Danny was saying to me, Jason Jordan would have been a nice touch. Yeah, it was okay. But
the guy's injured.
Yeah, he's injured. And honestly, that wasn't a great angle to begin with. No pun intended.
Horrible angle.
And Jason Jordan's not up to snuff. Like, he's just not. Like, he's an amazing guy, I'm sure. But he's not WrestleMania. Like, he's just not. And that's what it is. He could have been, but he's not. And especially, you can't just whip somebody out in the last 3 weeks and be like, oh, he's back and he's got a match. Like, you don't do that. Like, promotional-wise, it makes no sense, right? At least Baron Corbin has been there the whole time. He's in that foursome or threesome of idiots.
Storyline for the last 8 months.
Yeah, it makes sense. So for me, Chad Gable, fantastic match, but it wasn't a WrestleMania match. It was fine. It was great. It was wonderful. It was a check mark for Kurt Angle. The end.
I got the comments from Henry now, and I mean, I don't know if I quite fully agree with this, but like it caught my attention. Steve Austin was Steve Austin, but Steve Austin really became Steve Austin after he got his neck broke. He rose to the occasion after he came back, did the whole 316 thing. He had to have a moment that was created for him, and that is what Baron Corbin is going to have in this opportunity. He's having a moment created for him, just like Steve did, to make himself somebody that is bigger than life. Steve Austin was above average. He was good, but he then became an icon afterwards. And I think that Baron Corbin has the opportunity to become an icon by beating an icon. I don't know if I'd go that far, but just reading that, I was like, damn, Mark Henry thinks highly of Baron Corbin. I mean, a lot of people do.
Oh, yeah.
They've had this guy pegged for a long time. And you know I do, but I don't know if I'm going to that level. But I just thought it was something that caught my attention like, whoa, that is an interesting way to look at this.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Everyone's looking at it as angle or whatever. But the first thing I thought of is like you said, this is an amazing opportunity for Corbin.
Yeah,
a guy
absolutely.
who deserves it, who's been around now for several years and has eaten shit. Like, they threw all the blame of the bad Raws on him, even though he was the best part of them, just as storyline-wise. Like, this guy is one of the few true, like, actual bad guys left that isn't a caterer to the crowds. Like, he's all about it. I mean, you see him at events sometimes, like, because kayfabe's dead, but you see him at events, like, with, like, little kids and, like, doing cool things. Like, so he is a good person in real life. But on screen, that character does not waver. Sure. On Twitter, that character does not waver. He is a bad motherfucker.
I think the more we talk about this, the more I'm okay with it.
I mean,
the more we talk,
I'm always going to be okay with it because I'm a Corbin guy. But I mean, if they did replace him and put Cena in,
yeah, you'd be excited.
I would pop for that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a win-win for me. But I get people's outrage because but I think that's why it works.
Moving on to something else that really outraged me.
Oh boy.
We have the Boston Hug come out. Talk about how they're going to deal with the Iconics on Tuesday. We already talked about that. Then we get interrupted by, uninteresting and just slow sloth promo, no energy.
About 10 years too late.
Oh, my God. I love Beth Phoenix. I think she's an incredible woman.
I thought she was great 10 years ago.
Incredible. Amazing.
Yep.
Deserves everything she's ever gotten in her life.
One of the best of all time.
But then I watch Natty, as we watch in a live event when she does that. You watch. Next time she does that, she sounds like a cow. Or even a jackass. When she does that little hand raise thing at the beginning of her matches.
Not touching that.
Awful. She sounds weird when she does it. She's an amazing talent too. But god damn it. I was looking at this thing going like, I mean, the crowd made it seem a little bit more special, sure. But I don't care about them at all.
Yeah.
I don't want them anywhere near my television set, Joshua. I believe they should get them off my TV, get them off my TV, get them off my TV. That's where I put that in there. I don't want them anywhere sniffing. You know what's funny? They're probably going to win. They're probably going to win.
I see you're Natty and Beth. Get them off your TV. And I raise you, Nia and Tamina. For the love of God, A, they already lost. B, I don't fucking care. So now we're looking at this match. The Iconics will probably be in it. We're going to have the four corners.
Ugh.
Sasha Bailey, I like them. Iconics, I like them. But the other half of the reign, I don't give two flying fucks. And, like, the potential, like, the pace of this match is going to be like a fucking sloth. Like, I just...
It is. It's going to be. It is going to be slow. It is going to be...
What a way to kick off your new titles into WrestleMania. Yeah. Like, come on. What are you doing? Like, this is the other thing I was thinking about. Like, are they even going to have a women's battle royal? Because on Raw, the only people not being used are like the Riot Squad and Dana Brooke and Mickie James. On SmackDown, it's like Zelina. Because who knows? Next week, all four of them might just get a title shot.
Sure, who knows, right?
So it's just like, are they going to have like a three-person battle royal? Like, you're putting, like, that's... I don't fucking... This match...
Move on.
This sucks.
Although I will say this very quickly. We give a lot of shit to Tamina. This is the first week where she didn't fuck anything up. She didn't speak.
She did her
She wasn't in
job.
a match. She super kicked the fuck out of somebody and then walked away.
Yeah.
That was it.
Her leg barely got in the air.
Okay, well,
good slap though. Tamina's a very good slapper.
Listen, the sound slap leg was fantastic. So
it was.
In a week where there was a lot of poop, she was less of a turd. Let's move on.
Yeah. Are we gonna talk about your drug lord pimp Bautista now?
Okay.
I love the look that he had. Beyond that, I mean, he just came off as a whiny bitch, and I didn't care.
Okay.
Sell me if you can.
I'm gonna sell you my hope a little bit. I think I figured it out what I want to do. So, here's what I think is gonna happen. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save it for the hope. It's better that way. But the promo itself, I was like, come on, Dave, give me something.
It was weak, right?
Give me something, right?
He had the look going. I was like, God, he looks like he's a fucking cartel boss.
The other thing,
and then he just started talking. I'm just like, God, he ruins it every time he fucking speaks.
You know what was bothersome too? Or troublesome, I guess, was just like they started out in a 3-shot with Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Renee. And then you could tell everything else after that was pre-taped. And like, because the crowd didn't give a shit.
No,
they
I
didn't
don't
give
think it
a
was
shit.
pre-taped. I think the crowd just didn't give a shit. It's like,
all right, well, then it felt
you
like
want
that.
a live crowd to care about a remote interview. Like next week, if they do that to me in fucking Boston, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get a beer. I'm not going to sit there I'll watch it on TV later. I'm a live crowd. I want to see people in person. Batista's too fucking good to show up. Fuck him. He ain't getting a sound of noise from me.
Wow.
A sound of noise. Yeah, I'm really good at speaking.
It's hard to speak for a half an hour or an hour, let alone just to make sure you don't speak, in any type of grammatical problem. I'm sure.
Oh, fuck the grammatical problems. Like I mean, just how many words I'm saying. I'm going to stutter a bit. I'm going to do everything.
It is what it is, folks.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, look, let's move on because I don't want to talk about that right now. Mojo happened. That's exciting.
I brought that up in the
I know,
Shine.
but
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
You just ruined it. I put him in the Shine, then you put him in the Heat. What the hell's the matter with you?
I'm just reading things.
Well, don't
Ricochet
read
versus
things.
Jinder happened. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, that did happen.
Happened. It happened.
Hey, he's the one and only. He got the win. That's all that matters.
It's a gymnastic
No
routine.
Alistair this week,
It's
which
a
I thought
Jags.
was weird.
It's a gymnastic routine. Eventually, that poor guy's going to break himself and have to make sure the crowd's
he's
happy.
Fucking fantastic to watch.
Ronda versus Dana. All of 1 minute. Dana screams. By the way, her scream will haunt my dreams forever. That is one of those things where I feel like a Minnesota woman in a grinder. Like the way she screamed for her life horrified me. Not in a good way. I probably couldn't fall asleep on Monday night.
So can we talk about we're 3 weeks out from WrestleMania and you're giving me Ronda Rousey versus Dana Brooke for a championship?
Mm-hmm.
That's the best you can do. You got Mickie James in the back.
It gets better.
And at least Ronda squashed her in 2 seconds.
It gets
That's
better.
Like the only thing of this that made sense. Like finally, Ronda just killed someone. It ended because that's all it should have been.
Travis Brown.
Your boy.
Fucking A, man. I mean,
Why do you think they did this? Because now he's like quote unquote banned from Raw. Like, why did they need to involve him
he's a
in
heater.
this storyline?
He's supposed to be your heater. I'm telling you right now.
Ronda's the heater.
No, I'm
you
telling
don't
you.
need him.
That's what they're thinking, though. They're thinking he's going to be the guy to be like, I can control her. Which, again, Sure, that's your woman. Go ahead if you want to control her. I don't know why people want to control people, but whatever.
Yeah, no, the men,
But it's just,
men don't control women.
That's what they're trying, the narrative there. It doesn't make any sense to me because people are equal. But anyway.
Well, women just control men.
It was just weird. It was like, so here's the other thing too. It's like, again, I know they're in a relationship, they're in love, and it's their husband and wife and everything.
They're
like
married, yeah.
But like
they're more than in love.
Yeah, it's just like, but it's like the hand-holding bit when they walk in and they're like ignoring people.
Do.
But it was just weird to me. It was
That's
like,
exactly why.
here's a
Why
trained
are you doing
killer.
it? Just don't do
trained
it.
killer. And then of course, like Travis Brown beats somebody up, and I'm like, I get it, but like, god damn it, like this. Where is the end goal? Like, what are we adding
That's what
to
I'm
it?
asking
What is it? Because I'm watching it going. Is he going to hit Becky? Is he going to hit Charlotte?
It's more of I
No.
think Becky's gonna hit him.
But then you're gonna take somebody and that's a
you
UFC
ready?
fighter.
Go home show. Becky and Charlotte versus Ronda and Travis.
No, never gonna fucking happen.
Ooh.
Never gonna happen. You almost took out the
I
microphone,
did.
you
I
jerk.
leaned back.
Jerk.
We're farther away than normal today. It's kind of
I
nice.
can't get any closer to you.
He kept us farther away this week, so I can't reach across the table and slap him.
Anyway, I don't think there's anything that needs to be talked about with Travis Brown. I don't think he's an issue
No.
anymore. Let's move on.
He's banned from Raw now, allegedly.
Okay, anything else?
Only other note I had was there were a lot of fucking recaps on Raw. Like I felt
Yeah.
like literally just, and recaps can be an effective tool, like with some things, but when you have that many, it just kills the pacing of your show.
3-hour
this
shows
show
in
had
general.
no pace.
3 hours and shit doesn't matter.
No,
3-hour
this-
shows don't matter.
This show just sucked. Do you have anything else? If not, I'd like to get.
Let's
hopeful.
get the hope.
Well, you tease the Batista. The people are waiting.
Give
Give us blue-red Tista.
Blue-red Tista.
Blu-ray Tista.
So here's what I thought to myself. There's 2 weeks left, right? Here's what I want. I think that clearly Bautista has really not delivered. And I was such a bummer because I was hoping. I had super high hopes. I probably had the hopiest of hopes that thinking that he was going to deliver. He probably will deliver with his Photoshopped nipples. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter, by the way. They Photoshopped his nipples out of the graphic for WrestleMania. That's pretty hilarious. So, look, for me, Batista needs to do one thing and one thing only. To me, I'm not really excited about NXT TakeOver. So what do?
I mean,
We have a moment in which something happens backstage, and we're like, what the fuck? And have Batista just go in and run roughshod over everybody the night before WrestleMania and beat up all of little Uncle H's kids and just beat him, all of them. Hold on. And then he will drag out somebody like an HBK and fucking powerbomb his ass. Because at this point, that's all I want to see. I just want to see Batista rip people to shreds. That's all I fucking want. That's it. At least at that point for me, like it's hopeful to be like, hey, they're taking a situation that sucks and they're taking the pieces together and it makes something out of nothing. Because right now it's nothing.
So you want to sacrifice the great wrestling show we're going to have just to fucking get Batista over? Fuck off.
I'm
Are
telling you right
kidding
now-
me? This is your worst hope ever.
I'm telling you right
wanna
now.
destroy Gargano versus Cole, Velveteen Dream versus Matt Riddle, the Fatal 4-Way for the
I'm
women's
not
title.
saying
You wanna
them. I'm saying the NXT guys that are not on the show.
Okay, that's a little bit. I thought you meant like come and destroy all the matches. I'm like, are you kidding me?
No,
Over
not all the
Batista?
matches. I'm saying one segment.
God.
One segment is all it takes. One segment where he beats up people that are part of NXT
How
that
about
aren't
he
the
just
show.
beats up Triple H at the things backstage?
No, that's stupid.
Stay away from the fucking
No,
ring.
you got to get Triple H
Oh,
more
my
enraged.
God.
That's all you got to do.
Ugh,
It's gonna happen.
not happy.
It's
with this
gonna
hope.
happen.
This hope sucks.
I don't care. This is a hope for a reason.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. That should be my hope.
All right, moving on to the comeback. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Give me your hope then. Since yours is so much better than
I mean,
mine.
by default, I could literally say anything. I could be like, I hope that
Mojo
fucking
Rawley wins the.
RVD comes back and wins the WWE title, and it'd be better than yours. But no, as my hope as I tease it, there's a fatal 4-way next week to determine the number one contender for Asuka's title.
Ugh.
I mean, Carmella Asuka, seen that. Carmella beat her 12 times. Naomi Asuka, seen that. Match really under-delivered. Mandy Asuka, seen that. Match of the year candidate.
Oh, stop.
But you know what? They're doing this for a reason. The only people who matter in this match are Mandy and Sonya. The way they announced it was a backstage promo teasing their thing. It was actually another one of those WWE.com exclusives that was very effective. They both did well. I want like a double pin or some shit. I want them both to win. Because, I mean, they've done nothing with Asuka. It's all about these two, so both of them need to be in the match. Let's do it. My hope is that Mandy and Sonya both win next week. They're both number one contenders. And here we go. You make me care about a match that I probably wouldn't care about. That's simple. Mandy and Sonya. Thaya and Desire versus Asuka in a triple threat match. And then...
What a pre-show that'll be.
I mean, no, the pre-show's filling up, man.
What a pre-show. It's on the pre-show.
We don't know that.
Asuka's not even on
Pre-show,
television. It's
pre-show, you have
pre-show,
Battle
baby.
Royals, Cruiserweight, Raw
Pre-show.
Tag.
Pre-show.
It might be, but it doesn't matter. They'll get more time in the pre-show.
Kickoff. Wondering why.
See, here's the other thing: is everyone says a pre-show like it's such a negative.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
You're
I'm just
selling
saying.
it as a negative right now. You use it as a negative when it works for your
The
argument.
only negative that I will say is that nobody will be in the audience to see it. That's the only crime. That's the only crime I could say that
the
it'll
first
happen.
match by the end.
No, it's a popcorn fart area. It's like and my buddy Trav,
it's 'cause
who
the
went to
doors
WrestleMania,
usually aren't open.
Right, exactly. He went to WrestleMania 32, and I'm sure Danny could tell you about WrestleMania 33, and so could
It
TJ.
was better last year.
Sure, but it was just like they let people in, and then it was like, why would you let people in a half an hour, like early? Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Well,
it's
that's
like,
the problem. Is
what are we
it's
doing?
more about the venue because they need to pay like their
Yeah.
employees all day. Than WWE. I'm sure WWE, if they could, would start at fucking 2 and go all night.
Yeah.
But it's more about the venue and like because if they start that early, they might not need 2 crews. Like, so.
I don't know. I'm just thinking to myself, boy, the pre-show would be great because then it always harkens back to me when The Miz was doing that SummerSlam thing and nobody was in the crowd. Like that's my thought process
Yeah,
about
but
everything.
it's come a long way with that because like last year it was better. They've gotten better at. But honestly, I don't think this is a pre-show. I think this is a main card and it's one of the ones that's stuffed in the middle that they shorten time with.
Oh God,
They
it'll
do that
be
with
4
the-
minutes.
They
Be
do
4 minutes.
that with the women's titles
It's
every year.
awful.
They
4
do-
minutes.
I know, but they do it every year with like one of the women's titles.
And here's the thing for me. Anything that's above 10 minutes at WrestleMania, thank your fucking lucky stars.
Well,
Thank your lucky stars. From
it's
bell
not-
to
there's
bell.
going to be 3 that'll get that. It's going to be the
That's it.
triple threat. I mean, Rollins Lesnar probably won't be because Lesnar's matches are better, shorter. Brian Kofi, assuming it happens, will probably get more. AJ Orton, I think, might get more. And then Reigns, Drew. So I'd say 4. Women's triple threat being the 4th.
I mean, it's 45 hours. They might as well have it go as long as they want.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just fires me up about it.
You're just angry all the time.
I'm not angry all the time.
You cheer, you get excited for like Batista, so it all makes sense.
Listen, you're going to tell me right now
Yes.
that when Batista's song
I
happens,
get it.
you're going to fucking squat,
Yes.
you're going to slap your knee, and you're going to pretend to fucking
Yeah.
machine gun.
And then when the match starts, I'm going to go do something else. That's going to be my break, and it's fine. I deserve a break. I hope that
That's
match
another
goes,
match that's 45 minutes.
No, I hope that match goes 15 minutes because I get a 15-minute break. There it is. Bonus hope.
We can't miss anything because we do the podcast.
When it comes to this part of the podcast, I know you'll be watching, so I'll be like, oh, yeah, the entrances are great. Batista won. And you'll be like, yeah, and there were these spots maybe. And I'm like, cool, whatever, don't care.
Wow. You just gave the secret sauce away to our program.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain things that, like, I know that you're going to watch and you know that I'm going to watch. So when it gets to that, like,
That's
fast
true.
forward.
That's true because at Royal Rumble, I was in the other room talking to Todd, and you're like, Shinsuke lost or won or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
This is what it
And
is.
it came full circle.
It's true. What a guy who's fallen, by the way. Anyway, let's move on. We are now in the comeback. Don't call it a comeback. Who's your comeback?
No way. Jose,
Seriously?
No way.
That might be the
Jose.
worst comeback you've had.
That's not true.
That's the worst
first of
comeback
all,
you've
the
ever
dude has
had.
green hair, and I'm sorry I could not find the photo. My mom spent 2 hours looking through photo albums. She found a lot of great photos, but none with the green hair, so I couldn't do the side by side. But use your imagination. It was
No
spiky
way.
and
JC.
green.
No way.
No way, Jose. Yeah. Because first of all, normally we see someone else dress up in the conga line. We've never seen the person's conga line, who it is, dress up in their own conga line and do a surprise attack. I like that. This was the most serious. No Way Jose has been booked like on the main roster. I thought that was a positive. Raw has a bunch of people they don't use.
It was a
At least
rerun.
gave us something. It doesn't matter. This was one of the better parts of Raw, in my opinion. 'Cause
Really?
It wasn't a fucking just same old shit. It was at least something
It was
different.
same old shit.
It wasn't. They couldn't present
No way
it in a completely
Jose.
different
No way Jose has faced Elias like 45 fucking times.
He's faced him like once.
Twice at
It
least
was
3, maybe 4.
repackaged in a way that was interesting with him
Okay.
in his own conga line.
Sure, whatever.
You complain about everything. Everything's a rerun on Raw because they had 3 hours. They all fought each other. So this one, they gave you a different look at it, and it worked. No Way Jose's barely on TV, so when he's on TV, it's interesting. He's not overexposed. He's underexposed. I want more No Way Jose in his green hair. He gets my comeback. Absolute stud. Definitely probably better than your comeback because you're probably going to give it to Mojo.
No, I thought about giving it to Mojo Rawley, but
you
you already
did.
gave him the shine. I can't do better than that, folks. He put Mojo Rawley in the shine. He was on this program saying Mojo Rawley would never be in the shine, and he was from
I've
JC.
never said that.
You have said that.
No.
Absolutely have said
Vicious
that.
history. Find the clip then.
Fine. I'll have to go by the 40 fucking hours we've done so far. That's not true. 155 hours probably at this point. Anyway, as I got rudely interrupted, my comeback goes to Dominic Mysterio because
Booyaka, booyaka.
I'm telling you right now, Uncle Joe's going to choke out Dominic, and it's going to be fucking awesome. I cannot wait.
Do we actually think this is going to be a one-on-one match?
I cannot wait for Samoa Joe to choke out Dominic because I think that is going to be so uncomfortable. Everything we wish the AJ Styles thing to be is actually going to happen because Joe couldn't put his hands on his wife or his kids for AJ Styles. But this one, he can physically put his hands on Dominic because Dominic is such a I'll do it, whatever. Like my dad's Rey Mysterio, sure. Oh my God. He is going to choke him out. He is going to annihilate Dominic because if you watch that Rey Mysterio promo, he goes, yeah, following in my footsteps. I'm thinking to myself, this kid's going to do it. This kid's going to let Joe choke him out, beat him up, push him all over the place. I am so in on this because uncomfortable Joe is the best Joe. And right now, this is a match where I'm like, why did it happen? And give me a week or two, and I'm going to go, yeah.
So you actually think it's going to be a singles match?
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
I think
we're going to get like 10 guys added to this next week.
Maybe.
And Dominic's going to be like, yeah, my favorite wrestler is Almas. And Ray's going to be like, what? And he's going to be like, Elio!
If that happens, I'd
And then
fucking
Zelina's going to
out.
be like on his arm.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
And
That'd
he's
be really
going to
fucking
start
funny.
dressing up like Andrade.
That's a good way.
It would be way better with Andrade and Ray because you just have him have Andrade be his best favorite wrestler.
Sure. No, that's fine. It's great, but
And
whatever.
they can, have a ladder match.
And then Dominic
Turn
can
the
climb
custody.
for his own custody this time. Custody of the United States Championship. Oh, whatever. U.S. custom. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. Let's go to the big finish. I don't know what's actually implied for next week. It seems like Kofi Kingston's going to do something.
The women's fatal 4-way is the only thing booked, I believe, because Raw will book stuff Sunday night. Like, Ronda Rousey, Dana Brooke title match. Announcing Sunday night.
Is there anything you're looking forward to? Like, is there something that you want to see happen?
I'm looking forward to everything on SmackDown. I'm looking forward for the advancement on Miz Shane. I'm looking forward to the advancement on Kofi, like you said. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to AJ and Orton getting more attention this week now that Orton's out of the Kofi picture and back on that. I'm interested to see what they're finally going to do with the Usos and Hardys. I'm interested in the women's fatal 4-way. So pretty much SmackDown, I'm interested across the board.
Monday
Raw,
night? Nope.
I'm interested in Reigns and McIntyre. How they're gonna actually get them together because it's not officially booked yet, but that's where we're assuming it's going. And I'm interested in
Nothing else.
Travis Brown invading Raw.
Stop. Please. Please stop me.
Oh no! I also am interested to see how they're gonna get Lacey Evans in the show. That's always my favorite thing. It's like I wonder when her entrance is gonna hit. It's great.
It's the same four things. It's during a women's match and it's
don't
during an
care.
Elias thing. That's it.
Don't care. It's fucking one of the best.
It's not
parts of the
fucking
show.
rocket science, Josh.
Fucking great. No, because hey, you never know.
She ain't interrupting.
She's like a box of
Seth
chocolates.
Rollins.
You never know what you're gonna get.
That's not true. I know where she's going to be shoehorned.
She's Evelina.
Ugh.
I mean, when the Eva Marie thing was happening, it was the most interesting thing. The Emelina thing had some great build, and then it was just nothing. And this one has the build, and you know it's going to pay off because once you see her wrestle and you see her finish her, you'll appreciate her. You got a taste of it in the Rumble. It was a little slow treading, but she said she was nervous as fuck.
All right. On that note, I think I'm nervous as fuck. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Socialize the pod, Josh. Please.
Yeah, sure. You're listening on a podcast app. You know them all. I'm not going to list them all.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Download them all. When YouTube, that shit. It's all
You're
on
fucking
YouTube.
mailing this shit in.
Yeah, of course I am. Jobberknocker.com is the website, though. You can also find all the links there if you need it. Pro Wrestling Tees, buy the fucking shirts. I'm wearing the Jobberknocker right now. I will wear one of the Jobberknocker shirts to Raw Boston next Monday. So if you're there, yeah. I'll
Is it
be
just
there.
you and Maddie?
Look for me. Me and Maddie are going together. Maddie Seth. Is that what he used to call himself?
Thought it was Matty Slice.
He called himself a lot of
Matty Slice, because he's an
He
editor.
called himself a lot of things. But yeah, I will be there. So if you're going, then yeah, cool. I'll
Find a Jobberknocker. Bring
Yeah.
a Jobberknocker sign.
Look for
Whatever.
JC. Talk to JC. JC of the people, you know. It usually happens at the events. Now that I'm derailed. There's a bunch of good shit on the website.
Yes, there you go.
I just read something. Didn't someone just put something?
It was a John Cena article by
John
TJ.
Cena article by
Come
TJ.
on.
I knew it. I read it. I'm just dude. This last couple weeks has been a shit show for me. I can't keep anything straight. But yeah, that's a good article. I saw him. He posted again. He doesn't know if he's gonna get what he wanted. But again, check it out. It's great stuff. TJ also writes the NXT article, which has been clutch for me the last couple weeks because I've been unable to watch NXT, but it keeps me in the know, which I needed. Hopefully I can get back in the train soon. Same with NXT UK. Our boy Brandon Cox does a fantastic job. Both those articles are must read every week, so check those out. There's always good stuff on there. Ray actually pointed out before, we did an article last year around this time of picking their number one opponent. We wanted Daniel Bryan to face. I believe yours was Brock Lesnar, which
It
we
was.
actually got. That delivered.
Yes.
I did not write because it was the same time as last year and I was really busy, but they picked The Miz for me, and of course that was correct, and I loved the Miz-Bryan feud as always. Yeah, a lot of good stuff on there. So as you know, in the archives, there's lots of great articles, so check
There are.
those out. But Twitter, at Jobberknocker, at Nestlemania, at JC of the JK, at DQ of the JK, at Ray Ray of the JK, at Billy D2411, at Joe Pollock47, at TJ of the JK, at The Real Deal B Cox. Facebook Jobberknocker, Instagram Jobberknocker. We are everywhere you want to be on social media, podcasting apps, the World Wide Web, and in wrestling, life, world, everything across the multiverse.
Wow, that was rough. That was not your best
That's
ending.
what she said.
That was a rough ending.
Yeah.
Anyway, since Josh is completely out of it, thank you for
I don't
listening
know who
to
this Josh is you always reference on the show.
Who the hell is Josh?
Yeah.
Drake and Josh. On that note,
Did you just drop a fucking shitty show? Was it Disney Channel?
I've never seen it. I think it's Nickelodeon though.
Oh, God.
Anyway, thank you for listening to the Jobberknocker. We'll be back next week with more Jobberknockery.
A new number one contender.
Go fuck yourself.